Hello and welcome to the Luv Doc podcast with hosts Waldo Wachewski and Ophelia Brewski.
Today, we're looking at a Luv Doc that really shines a harsh light on one of the most common conflicts in relationships.
Yeah, it's a big one.
We're talking about that painful intersection of domestic labor and perceived laziness, or maybe a strategic laziness.
Exactly. And our mission today is really an extraction. We're going deep into this incredible letter from a reader who calls herself the Mad Maid.
The Mad Maid.
And we're going to analyze her crisis for sure, but the real focus is on this one piece of terminology the Luv Doc introduced, weaponized incompetence.
Right. And just having that vocabulary, I mean, that feels like half the battle, right? If you can name the dynamic, you can start to deal with it.
It gives you a neutral term, a handle on it,
right?
Which is so valuable in a charged argument.
Okay, so let's get into the case study. The setup here is, it's just so relatable. The writer, this Mad Maid, has been married for 2 years, and things are under serious strain.
Mm-hmm.
And the trigger was hosting her husband's family for a full 13 days.
13 days. That's a marathon.
It's a marathon. And they're described as a, quote, traditional Midwestern family. So, stay-at-home mom, working dad kind of dynamic. And they were there from Christmas Eve all the way through January 4th.
Wow. And you could just imagine the workload. But she actually spells it out.
Oh, she does.
She says she cooked, cleaned, mopped, dusted, did laundry, grocery shopping, the whole operation. And she stresses that she got no help whatsoever from her husband.
It just paints this picture of total exhaustion. She's the unpaid event manager for his family. And the Mad Maid gives these really specific and frankly infuriating examples of his avoidance.
Yes, it wasn't just him not noticing. It was active.
Like what?
Okay, so example 1. She had asked for help with a mountain of dishes after dinner. His response, "We can do them later."
Classic.
Every time. Then, while she's up at the crack of dawn making breakfast for, 7 people, he's sleeping in.
Of course he is.
And the one that really gets me, this is even before the family arrived. He's cleaning the whole house, getting ready, and he announces he's going for a bike ride.
A bike ride?
His reasoning was he wanted to go while the weather was still good.
So his leisure activity took priority over preparing their shared home for his own family.
That's it. And here's the real kicker. The thing that shows just how isolated she was in this.
What's that?
Even his parents, the guests, offered more help than he did. His dad would take out the trash. His mom would offer to help with the dishes. He was the only one doing nothing.
Wow. He was the sole obstacle in his own home.
It's just a profound sense of being alone in the partnership,
So the breaking point, it had to come. It came the second the guests left.
She walks into the kitchen, and it's described as wrecked. Breakfast dishes, holiday mess, just everywhere. And where is her husband?
Taking a nap.
He can't make this stuff up. The person who did the least work is always the most tired.
Always. And that's when she confronts him. Her quote is just perfect. It captures the rage. She says, "How are you even tired? You have done literally nothing."
To help me host your family for 2 weeks? Exactly. And so the argument escalates. She tells him, basically, "I've done everything. You can clean this kitchen while I go take a break."
A well-deserved break.
A very well-deserved break. She goes out to exchange some gifts. The task is assigned. The expectation is set.
But when she gets back?
Nothing. The kitchen is still a mess. He's back in the bedroom, napping again. Said he was sleepy.
"I'll do them later."
The same line. And when she finally pushes him to do it, what happens? He does a terrible job.
The classic move.
Too little, too late, and done badly. Sticky counters, floor not swept. And this leads her to her big conclusion about him, her diagnosis.
Which is what?
She says he just doesn't see the dishes in the sink or the clothes on the floor or the disgusting toilet. This perception gap is the problem.
And that failure to see is what leads the Luv Doc to their formal diagnosis.
Yes. The diagnosis was, it was swift. They call it a textbook case of weaponized incompetence.
I love that term.
The Luv Doc even says you should imagine a film noir scare chord playing when you say it, because it's that serious. It reveals this dark underbelly.
So what does it actually mean? What's the definition?
Holy crap. You're psychotically obsessed with the Luv Doc, but can't think of a flashy gauche way to share your obsession with the world? Stop thinking and make a beeline for the Luv Doc's home sweet home on the interwebs, thepleasurecraft.com, where you can find a veritable treasure trove of sick merch that will make even your coolest friends super gel. Honestly, I don't know why you didn't already think of this yourself, but you're welcome. Have fun on the Pleasure Craft. It was made just for you. Let me spell it out for you one more time. www.thepleasurecraft.com.
So, weaponized incompetence. It's a manipulative tactic. It's where someone feigns incompetence. They pretend they can't do something or that they're bad at it.
In order to get out of doing it.
In order to get out of doing it. It's avoidance, but it's disguised as inability.
And sometimes it's more than just doing a bad job.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes there's flattery involved.
Yeah.
You know, oh, you're so much better at this than I am. It's a way to get the other person, the one with the higher standards, to just give up and do it themselves.
And the Luv Doc had some great analogies for this. They talked about staff at their newspaper claiming their hands are just too small to kill rats by the dumpster.
Right. Or the other one saying you can't use Excel because you have press-on nails.
It's ridiculous when you put it like that.
It is. The Luv Doc's point was, and I'm quoting, nobody should fall for that bullshit. The incompetence is just manufactured for convenience.
So, connecting this back to the husband, this framework forces a really important question. Is he actually manipulating her? Is this calculated? Or, and this is the other possibility, is he just someone with genuinely deeply ingrained low standards?
And that's the fork in the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Luv Doc brings this up. What if it's not malice?
Yeah.
What if he really has lived his whole life like this and just doesn't see the mess as a problem?
We've all had that thought, right? You walk into someone's place and just think, how do people live like this?
Exactly. For some people, that lower standard is their reality. It's their baseline. So it's not manipulation. It's just a fundamental mismatch.
An environmental disconnect.
A profound one. And the Luv Doc had this amazing kind of shocking anecdote about this.
Oh, yeah.
The Luv Doc wrote, there are literally countless tales of people who get married to someone based on their spouse's roommate's standards of cleanliness.
Wait, say that again? Based on the roommate's standards.
Yes. Think about it. You're dating someone, they live with a roommate, the apartment is always clean, you assume your partner is contributing to that.
But it was actually the super tidy roommate doing all the work.
Precisely. The roommate was masking your partner's true low standards. So you marry them, you move in together, and suddenly the curtain drops. You realize the person you are actually judging the cleanliness of was a third party.
That's deeply unsettling.
It really is. So for you, the listener, this is the central question to puzzle over. Is it calculated avoidance, or is it a genuine failure to see? And why does that distinction even matter?
Okay, so if the cause is a bit murky, is it malice or is it just cluelessness? How do you actually fix it?
Well, that's where the advice shifts. It moves away from can he change and focuses on will he change.
Because change is possible either way.
It is absolutely possible, but it requires structure. It requires clear, firm boundaries from the person who's been carrying the load.
So what's the roadmap? What were the non-negotiables the Luv Doc gave her?
There were 3. And they're not suggestions, they're strategic moves.
Okay.
First, she has to make household chores a non-negotiable condition of the relationship.
So not a favor he does for her.
Not a favor. It has to be treated like, fidelity or financial honesty. It's a core requirement of the marriage. If he fails at this, he's not just being messy, he's failing a fundamental condition of the partnership.
That raises the stakes. Okay, what's number 2?
Second, and this is the direct counterattack to the weaponized incompetence, she has to offer to help him get better at the tasks.
Ugh, that sounds exhausting.
It is, but here's the key part. She has to stress that effort is more important than perfection.
That's the trap, though, isn't it? If he does a bad job loading the dishwasher, it is so much faster for her to just redo it herself.
It is, and the Luv Doc is clear. The second she gives in and rewashes those dishes, he wins. He learns that doing a bad job gets him out of the task. She has to let it go. She has to let the dishes be clean enough for a while.
So she has to live with sticky floors for a few days to make the point.
She has to let him experience the consequences of his own standard of work. It's hard, but it's essential for behavioral change.
Okay, and the third step.
They have to sit down and formally negotiate what level of cleanliness and tidiness is acceptable to both of them.
Like a contract.
Exactly like a contract. Not, let's try to be cleaner. No, it's dishes get loaded in the dishwasher every night before bed, or the toilet gets scrubbed every Sunday.
So it's not subjective anymore. He can't say, I didn't see it.
Right. It creates a clear, objective metric. Either the toilet is clean on Sunday or it's not. It provides evidence of commitment or failure.
So wrapping this up, what does this mean for you if you're listening and feeling a bit like the Mad Maid? The big takeaway here is that having a term like weaponized incompetence gives you the vocabulary to change the whole conversation. You're not just saying you're lazy. you're identifying a behavioral pattern. You're moving from a personal attack to a negotiation about the terms of the relationship.
And the Luv Doc ends on this really high-stakes note. They say that by setting up these clear negotiated rules, if the husband still doesn't live up to them, then the wife won't feel guilty about the divorce.
Because she has proof. She has objective negotiated proof that he chose avoidance over the marriage. That is a powerful final boundary.
It is. It turns guilt into justification.
So we want to leave you with a final thought, and it goes back to that wild idea that people get married based on a roommate's cleaning habits.
Yeah.
If a huge commitment like marriage can be based on a totally false standard set by someone else, what overlooked unspoken standards at home, at work, in a friendship might you be accepting right now without realizing they aren't universal, or that they aren't even acceptable to you? Something to think about until our next
Luv Doc podcast.
To read the column that spawned this podcast, go to austinchronicle.com/columns/the Luv Doc. There are probably worse things to do with your time, right?